Hello, everybody. This is Shankar from System Based Labs. Now that we understand the runtime, the orchestrator, planners, and action agents, we move into something even more critical tools. Because without tools, Agentic AI does not act, it only talks. Let's begin with the simple truth. A model by itself cannot do real work, it cannot access your systems, it cannot update a database, it cannot fetch your business data. It generates text. That's it. So, how do we bridge the gap between intelligence and execution? This is where tools come in. At System Based Labs, we define tools as external capabilities that allow agents to interact with the real world. APIs, databases, file systems, applications like Google Drive. These are not add ons, these are essential. Now, here is the problem most systems face. Tools are treated like optional plugins, something you call occasionally, something outside the system. That approach does not scale. Because in agentic AI, tools are not optional. They are first class citizens, which means the system understands tools, select tools intelligently, calls tools dynamically, and integrates results back into reasoning. The agent is not just generating responses, it is deciding which tool to use, when to use it, and how to use the output. Now let's introduce something very important. MCP, Model Context Protocol. This is what makes tools usable at scale. So what problem does MCP actually solve? Without MCP, every tool integration is custom, different formats, different interfaces, different logic. This creates chaos. With MCP, we standardize how tools are exposed to agents. Think of MCP as a universal interface layer. It allows tools to declare what they do, what inputs they need, what outputs they return. Now, the agent does not need custom logic for every tool. It understands all tools through a common protocol. That is powerful because now adding a new tool is not engineering heavy. It is plug in. Now let's make this real. Let's take a live example. Imagine we connect Google Drive as an MCP server. The agent now has access to documents, spreadsheets, reports. Through MCP, Google Drive exposes capabilities like search files, read document content, write or update files. Now the agent receives a task. Summarize last quarter's sales report. What happens? The orchestrator routes the task. The agent decides, I need data. It selects the Google Drive tool, calls the MCP interface, retrieves the document, processes it, generates a summary. All of this happens without hard coding. Now let's take another example. A database, say a customer database, connected as an MCP server. The agent can query customer data, analyze trends, generate insights. Now imagine the task. Find top customers and generate a retention strategy. The agent queries the database, analyzes the data, generates insights, and produces a strategy. This is not a static workflow. This is dynamic tool usage. Now here's the key insight. When tools become first-class citizens, the agent is no longer limited by its training data. It becomes context-aware, data-aware, system-aware. It moves from answering questions to executing outcomes. But this also introduces responsibility. Tool usage must be governed, validated, monitored, controlled. Because once agents can act, they can also make mistakes at scale. This is why MCP combined with orchestration creates both power and control. So let's summarize. Models generate, agents decide, tools execute, and MCP makes all of this work together seamlessly. This is the layer where AI becomes truly useful, not just intelligent, but operational. And this is why businesses are rapidly moving toward tool-integrated agent systems. Because this is where real value is created, not in responses, but in results. This is Shankar from System Based Labs. See you in the next video and dive into Agentic AI memory systems explained short term versus long term versus knowledge graphs, and retrieval versus reasoning. Good luck and goodbye.